Has our guest been put in a cell yet? Perfect, that's just the one I was thinking of. You understand me so well, my minion. I think I'll go gloat. Oh, what a wonderful day. My plans are going perfectly. Oh my, what a sad little hero we have here. And with such an attitude. How fun. Are you enjoying your accommodations? Well, you'd better get used to it. You're going to be here for quite some time. Isn't that lovely? I'm sure we'll get to know each other so well. Was that a threat? Adorable. Your friends will save you. Ha! Your friends won't be able to do a thing. As if they could get past the walls of my well-fortified castle. And even if they could, my guards would grind them into a paste. But sure, there's always hope. Face it, my little prisoner. No one is coming to save you. What am I going to do with you? Oh, you'll find out. I'm coming up with the perfect torture to make you pay for all those times your posse messed with my plans. Yes, put on a brave face for as long as you can. It'll just make your tears all the more enjoyable to witness. I do hope you enjoy your stay. This is perfect. My whole plan is coming together. This is the best way to get those sneaky heroes to face me head on. By kidnapping their oh-so-precious friend, they'll have no choice but to mount a rescue, and then I can take them all out while they're in one place. And in the meantime, I can break that one's spirit. They'll slowly lose hope, thinking about how their friends can't save them. And then... well, I guess I could just kill them too. We'll see. I'll worry about it after I get rid of their damn squad. Now to prepare for their inevitable rescue attempt. Damn it. It's not like me to get so impatient, but this is pissing me off. What could be taking them so long? Just need to let loose for a bit. Good day, Dungeon Keeper. Oh, don't look so surprised. I don't care if you're reading books on shift. It's not like much happens around here anyway. Just keep an eye out for trouble, you hear? I'm actually here to let off some steam. No torture. I just want to mock that hero I kidnapped to make myself feel better. Yes, that one. I expected their associates would be here within days to attempt a rescue, but I haven't seen a damn one of them in 2 weeks. Yes, I made sure to send a minion with a ransom note after they were successfully captured. If that guy's slacking off again, I swear. Exactly. I'm sure my prisoner is more upset about it than I am, so I'm going to rub it in a little. Maybe this will put a crack in their brave facade. Well. How's my tough little hero holding up? A little less bite in those words this time. Are you getting tired? Hard time sleeping in an unfamiliar place? Maybe the food isn't up to your standards? Oh, there's that anger again. So cute. Maybe I should keep you as a pet. You know, I was told that you were caught while wandering the forest by yourself. An unfortunately timed foraging trip? Or maybe you needed some space after a quarrel with your so-called friends. What, no witty response? Was I right then? If that's the case, maybe they aren't planning a rescue at all. Maybe you burned one too many bridges. What a shame. Are you really so unlikable that they won't even attempt to save you? That's quite humorous. Now, you won't be able to do anything to me behind those bars. Of course. I must be off anyway. Lots to do, you know. Oh, but I'm sure your friends will come save you. Eventually. A month. A stinking month. What is happening? Did the rest of them die trying to get here? What? That messenger I sent has returned? Finally, send him in. I was needing a new chew toy. You have bad news. Well, it's about to get much worse. I sent you to deliver that ransom note demanding that the leader of the band of heroes give himself up to ensure his captured squad mate's safety a month ago. So you did deliver it. When? 3 weeks ago. Explain. Yes, that was the message I told you to deliver without being seen. They didn't agree to it. Well, of course not. I wasn't expecting them to. I assumed they'd immediately start planning a rescue and begin heading here. What do you mean they crumpled up the note? They laughed, said no way, and went back to what they were doing. Are you serious? Did they think it was a prank? You tried leaving more notes, and they kept ignoring them? I don't understand. Why? You overheard them saying that they aren't interested in rescuing them? They really said that. So, they're not coming. Any of them? What the hell? I went to all that trouble, and they're not even going to show up? I thought those idiots would do anything to save each other. I don't doubt that you tried to get them to come, seeing as you spent weeks trying to send the ransom note. But this is still beyond infuriating. Go back to your post. I need to think. What the hell am I going to do now? I only ever meant to keep them as bait, not a permanent prisoner. What do I do? I don't want to just kill them. That'd be a waste of all the effort I put in to kidnap them. And it's not too bad keeping them. They're entertaining, at least. What on earth could they have done to make their own friends not want to save them? Those damn heroes are always going on about the power of friendship. What the hell happened? Looks like I'll need to have a chat with my prisoner. All right. Hero. Believe me, I would love to be here to mock you, but I've had enough. Your friends aren't coming. I know I've said that before, but I mean that literally. You were supposed to be bait. That means exactly what it sounds like. I capture you, your friends get wind of it, they launch a daring rescue, and fall right into my trap. We nailed the first 2 steps, but the rest just aren't happening, and I want to know why. Your friends are well informed of your location, but at every opportunity, they've turned up their noses at the thought of rescuing you. So what the hell did you do to make them hate you so much? Look, I already know you had a quarrel with them. Just tell me. Necromancy. What, you mean you? You can do that? Oh, I see. So that dork of a mage started learning dark magic. Maybe I should have kidnapped him instead. But why do you care? If it provides an advantage in battle, why not use it? So, you opposed using the bodies of fallen enemies as weapons. You heroes and your morals. But wait, you were the only one who objected? Even that sort of light-wielding goody-two-shoes was fine with it? Huh. Now that is surprising. Oh, yeah, well that totally justifies it. They did attack first. I'm just surprised that such do-gooders would see it that way. Don't tell me you were too morally pure for them. Yeah, I picked the wrong hero to kidnap. What a shit show. If it had been anyone else, I could have taken out your, well, I guess former crew by now. I might have even been able to convince them to join me. Really? You think the guys who are fine with necromancy wouldn't be interested in joining up with me ever? I could flip that mage in one conversation by promising to teach him even more dark magic. Don't underestimate greed. Yeah, I'm so evil, I know. But I am a pretty good boss. How do you think I get so many people to work for me? Look, I know this is sudden and a bit odd for me to say, but I don't want to kill you, you know. I've been enjoying our talks. I feel like we've got a good thing going. I know, right? I mock you, you threaten me. You never even got worn out. Okay, you probably would have with torture, but, you know, it's torture. That's a different story. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to do that. But really, what's the point? Being trapped here, knowing your friends don't even care about you enough to attempt saving you, should be punishment enough. Honestly, if you're not trying to extract information or get elaborate revenge, there's no point. I know some people do it for fun, but I'm not that much of a sadist. What am I going to do with you then? That is the question, isn't it? I don't want to kill you, that's a waste of resources, clearly. But coming all the way to the dungeon whenever I want to mock you is such a time sink. Oh, come on, who else am I going to mock? My minions? That was sarcasm. I told you, I'm a good boss, and being petty and rude to my employees does not inspire loyalty. Hire a jester. What a novel idea. Are you applying for the position? We'll see about that. I'll be back. Oh, what a devilish idea. I should have thought of this a long time ago. I'm back. Did you miss me? Guards, restrain them. Ooh, still got some fight in you, I see. Adorable. Now hold still. There. You can release them now. Go ahead. They won't cause any problems. Not feeling so violent now, are we? What did I put on you? It's a nifty little cursed collar. with a custom-made curse. Aren't you flattered I'd go to the effort for you? What does it do? I'm so glad you asked. It prevents you from attacking anyone in my castle. That includes poisoning or any trickery or what have you. It also prevents you from leaving the castle walls. And of course, I'm the only one who can remove it. Oh no, it doesn't make you obey my every command. Would you like it to? I didn't think you'd be into that sort of thing. So angry, but unable to do anything about it. It's perfect, like a portable prison cell. It should be obvious what I want. A jester. I have to thank you for the idea. Someone I can have around to mock and laugh at when they get angry. What better person for the job than you? Oh, you're speechless. How cute. But be sure to get some of your fighting spirit back, okay? It'll be no fun if you're in shock. Allow me to show you to your new quarters. Of course I'm not leaving you in here. What would be the point of that? With that collar, you're basically harmless anyway, so I want you close by. No more trekking all the way down here. Guards? Yes, I'm sure you can follow me by yourself, but I expect you'll want to run off to test the limits of the curse or to find hiding spots. You can do all that futile nonsense after I've shown you to your room. I think you'll be pleased with the upgrade. Since I know you'll be working so very hard for me, I've seen fit to provide you with a nicer bedroom, with a very comfortable bed. You won't be as fun to mock if you're groggy. And of course, I've gotten you some nicer clothes than those rags you're wearing. You need to look presentable in my castle, at the very least. Besides, punching so far down isn't nearly as fun. It'll be much more enjoyable to mock you when you look nice. No need to worry about feeling sympathy. I know. You hate me so much. Keep that energy up. You're already doing a great job, Jester. Today's report, yes. I could really use some good news right about now. Please tell me you have something. The guards kept out a wave of intruders. Oh, thank the skies, that's something at least. Wait, really? Yes, now that's what I like to hear. Make sure that assassin gets a bonus. Amazing. I've been gunning for that old man for ages. I was thinking he'd drop dead on his own before we got him. Okay, yes, I can handle the bad news now. Hit me. Ugh, usual threats from royalty. As if I'm not royalty too. I just didn't put a crown on my head and parade around like I'm the ruler of the universe. Anything else? Dragon riders at the edge of our territory. Gross. Do we have... They're handling it? Good. Make sure they get a bonus for everyone they knock out of the sky. I hate dealing with dragon riders. That's all? Very well. You're dismissed. Oh, hold on. Have you seen my jester? Hiding in their room again, huh? No need to drag them here. I'll just go pay them a visit. Thank you for all your hard work. So, you get out of a cell just to lock yourself in another room. Doesn't make much sense if you ask me. I know the door doesn't have a lock. That was intentional. Aw, is my jester upset? There's that bite again. I knew you couldn't stay mopey for too long. Seemed pretty mopey to me. I mean, for the first few days you were running around the castle like a madman. Desperation does look cute on you, though. I love it when you make threats you can't possibly act on. You're doing such a good job. Anyway, the look of defeat on your face as you tried to get past the gates only to be shoved back in was beautiful. Or when you tried to attack one of the guards only for your hands to refuse to move. That was a riot. Aren't you glad I showed you where your room was first so you had a place to go sulk in private? I wouldn't mind a thank you, especially for giving you such a nice room. Oh, don't be silly. Of course the guards wouldn't attack. I told them not to hurt you. After all, you're harmless, and I wouldn't want anything happening to my oh-so-amusing jester. Don't call you that. Well, I'm certainly not going to call you one of my minions. They're all here willingly. And not to pit my employees against each other, but they have a far better work ethic. Look at you, slacking in your quarters when I need some entertainment to unwind. What do I have to worry about? About a million things. You can't just run an empire on sorcery alone. You and your former friends weren't the only thing I had to deal with, you know. As troublesome as you were, especially for such a small group, you're far from the worst. You were just the easiest to capture. I haven't heard a thing about them from my scouts, so perhaps they've given up on opposing me entirely. Why? Don't tell me you miss them. Oh, you just want to know if anyone's close to stopping me. Not so far. Though those damn dragon riders might put a dent in things if my guardsmen can't get rid of them quickly. I'm not making my minions do it for me because I can't. I'm making them do it for me because hitting a dragon is a pain in the ass, no matter how powerful you are. You misunderstand, Jester. I can take a dragon out with one shot. It's hitting them that's the issue. They move so unpredictably that they're irritating to fight. It's like trying to swat a fly, except the fly can breathe fire, and the fly swatter is a toothpick. Depending on the dragon, you have to hit them in the right spot, too. It's a whole thing. I'd rather not deal with it if I don't have to. Lazy? Me? I'll admit, that's an insult I haven't heard from you before. I'm glad you're not just reusing your old material. By the way, I noticed you aren't wearing your uniform. So you'll wear the other clothes I prepared for you, but not your hat? What a shame. I would have so loved to hear the bells jingling as you walk about. But I guess it doesn't make much of a difference if you're going to be such a shut-in. You say that, but it seems like you are quite good at staying out of sight. You're an archer, aren't you? The one that was always sniping my underlings from your hiding places. I'm a bit surprised I haven't found you hiding in the rafters yet. No point. Oh, should I give you some rubber bands to shoot with your fingers? So cranky. What happened to your bow? I have no idea. If my minions didn't just leave it in the woods, one of them may have taken it for themselves. Or maybe it ended up in the armory. Who knows? Don't go silent on me now. Even if you did have your bow, it's not like you could use it. You'd aim at someone only for your hands to freeze. What was that? I could have sworn I heard you say it's important. I know you probably loathe falling out of practice, but look on the bright side. You're not going to need good aim in here, only good banter. Now surely you can do better than wishing I'll die in a fire. Wouldn't you rather do the deed yourself? That's what I like to hear. You don't stay down for long, do you? Oh, right. I wanted to ask. Will you be joining us in the dining hall tonight? Or hiding away again? You know, I haven't heard you complain about the food once. Does that mean it suits your taste? Don't worry. I'll tell the kitchen to make extra for you. You're starting to look a little scrawny anyway. Well, have a good evening then. I'll call upon you again soon, I'm quite sure. I think I'll visit the armory. Yes, thank you for finding it so quickly. I know it was a bit of an odd request. Is that so? As always, your diligence is to be envied. I'll be off now. Good day. I asked her to look for it yesterday on the off chance it was in the armory, but I didn't have much hope, and yet she found it within a day. I really did hire the best of the best. Now, where is my jester? In their room again, I bet. Although I don't mind riling them up in private. I do so love their ire being entirely directed at me. It's so cute, but mostly funny. Speaking of, I wonder what kind of face they'll make. Oh, my jester, are you here? What a surprise. You could at least hide in the closet or something to make me think you're out. Send me on a wild goose chase after you. You really have no imagination. You know, you could always pass the time in the courtyard. You're one of those naturey types, aren't you? I'm sure you'd love the garden. Oh, please, why would I fill my own garden with poisonous plants? I do like to appreciate flowers without them killing me. The poisonous plants are in the greenhouse. I use them for potions. Matter of fact, I'm always looking for new test subjects to try them on. Perhaps you'd volunteer? Are you sure? They can be unpredictable. If you got lucky, maybe I'd mix one wrong and it would give you the power to remove that collar. Imagine, you could finally give me that beating you're always threatening to. I suppose that could happen too. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to risk you losing your voice. How would you do your job without it? I suppose you could threaten me in sign language. Ooh, so observant. What am I hiding behind my back indeed? It's certainly not to reward you for your hard work, you layabout. But I got you a little present. Oh, you look so surprised. My armorer found this just lying around in the armory. Do you know what it is? Don't go speechless now. It's a bow with your name carved into it, as well as someone else's. It must have been a gift then. Is that why you were so worried about it? From your mentor? Oh, how sentimental. It's a good thing it was found then, being so valuable. I was planning to give it to you. But should I? I mean, seeing as you can't even use it, it would be pointless, right? Ooh, so demanding. Say please. Really? You can't even say please to get your beloved bow back? I guess you didn't care that much about it after all. Perhaps one of my minions will... What was that? Well, since you asked so nicely, your bow. Arrows not included. Now that's a cute expression. Oh, nothing. I'd better get going. What? Did you want me to stay and mock you for a bit longer? I suppose I could. Well, good day then, my little jester. Yes, yes, a toast to our dedicated guard for taking down those damn dragon riders. I live for days like these. Oh, do my eyes deceive me? Is that my jester come to join us for dinner? No, don't run off. Come here, sit next to me. Naturally, I saved you a spot. I knew you'd come around. Drunk? I'm not drunk, just a bit tipsy. Everyone, have you seen our jester? Hey, don't you start mouthing off, Antonio. I can't count how many of you were trying to kill me and each other before I hired you all. You were literally part of an enemy army. Can't remember whose army it was right now, but the point is, you'd all probably start killing each other if I wasn't in charge. At least this one can't hurt anyone now. The jester stays. All right then, back to drinking. How's the food? Any complaints? Don't try to insult me with your mouth full. You'd think we were starving you the way you're eating. No need to rush. Much as you may hate it, you do live here. No one in this room will harm you. I suppose I have. But we are enemies, aren't we? How about this? As long as you reside within these walls, I swear to never harm you. Oh, I'll remember. I haven't drank that much. Well, of course you can't trust me. Why would you? I'm evil after all. Aw, you're done already? You won't even stay for a drink? I'd love to hear what sort of insults you come up with after you've had a few. All right, then at least let me walk you back to your room. Only if I do you a favor. Oh, really now? Do you think you can convince me to remove your collar just because I'm a little tipsy? Ooh, something else then? You'll say when we get there. My, what a cunning little jester. I'll do what you ask, within reason. Let's go then. I'll return soon. Don't stop drinking on my account. All right, now that we're alone, can you tell me what you want? Or maybe you just wanted some time alone with me? You want access to the archery range. Whatever for? Oh my, such dedication to your skill. But I'm surprised you asked for permission instead of just going there. Oh, I suppose the range is just outside the castle walls, isn't it? Poor little jester trapped inside. Tell you what, since you were so very pleasant at dinner, I'll take you there myself tomorrow. Yes, I'll have to. It won't do to give you free rein outside the walls. Who knows what kind of trouble you could get up to? Don't pout. You should be happy. Aren't I such a caring mistress, giving you all this special treatment? Who can say why? Maybe I just find you that entertaining. But you're the only one I can really cut loose with. My minions. Why is that always your first suggestion? I admit I'm more casual with my underlings than most royalty would be, but I still have a certain image to uphold. You, though, you couldn't give a rat's ass about how I act. You'll hate me regardless, so I can really be myself with you. Or I could be overdramatic, too. It is fun to play the big nasty sorceress with a captive, I must admit. But it's even more fun when the captive talks back. Yeah, just like that. Anyway, if I'm able to stand up tomorrow, I'll take you to the archery range first thing in the morning. Good night, my dear jester. Ugh, I barely feel alive and you're absolutely raring to go. Maybe this is a trap. You want to take advantage of me when I'm at my worst. Sure. Well, here we are. The range is just over this way. Hey, where did... Oh, you're still... Oh, so absent-minded of me. I really must be hungover. Don't look so grumpy. I forgot you can't leave the castle. Let me just... There. You can leave the castle if you stay within range of me, but no shooting anyone with arrows. I'd be your first target. I'm flattered. And when I'm feeling like this, I'd probably thank you for putting me out of my misery. And off you go. Please don't move too fast. No one's here at the moment. I'm allowing a bit of slacking, seeing as I let them all get so drunk last night. You have to celebrate small victories sometimes. Keeps up morale. And I do so enjoy a good party. Not so much the day after. Yes, shoot arrows to your heart's content. I'll just sit here. Do my eyes deceive me? Or did you just hit a bullseye on the first try? Another? Impossible. Let me see. All three in the center. Your aim is unbelievable. I can see what made you such a terrible force against my minions. What? Why are you staring? Are you imagining shooting me? You didn't expect me to be so impressed. What? How could I not be impressed at shots like that? I doubt half of my archers could do this. I wish I could have hired you for this instead of entertainment. Right. I didn't exactly hire you. Shame, really, but there's no way you'd be here willingly. Now, shall I remove these arrows so you don't break them hitting another bullseye? It is nice to see that proud look on your face. Maybe you were hoping to impress me? Ooh, a unique threat. But if you'd point that bow at me, then you'd realize again that it's all in vain. Here, the arrows. Maybe you should challenge yourself by trying to hit somewhere other than dead center. I don't sense any lingering magic, but perhaps that bow of yours is enchanted? Oh my, what a vicious reaction. I'd never dream of dismissing your talents as mere trickery. In another lifetime, you could have been my best archer, but then we wouldn't get to spend nearly as much time together. Why did I give you your bow back? Oh, who knows? I guess I should, but I'm not sure myself. Maybe I was just trying to get you to trust me. Or maybe I wanted to see the look on your face. Well, you were happy to get it back, weren't you? Then maybe I just wanted to make you happy. Of course not. I wouldn't expect you to believe something like that. But seeing you all mopey wasn't very enjoyable. Obviously, I like it when you're angry. It's cute, not to mention your biting words. But sadness doesn't suit you. I had a feeling that it wasn't the captivity that had dampened your spirits as much as the thought of being abandoned by your friends did. Without them, that bow is all you could rely on, right? Maybe I am assuming too much, but you do seem to have your spirit back with it in your hands. That's quite cute as well. Maybe I did capture the right hero after all. Oh, right, that mage. While I have no doubt he'd be eager to learn whatever dark magic I could teach him, I'm not really looking for an apprentice. Besides, a worm like him would never use it responsibly. On the contrary, it's entirely possible to use magic described as dark responsibly, but it requires a certain level of skill, maturity, and restraint, traits that I'm certain he doesn't have. Dark magic is outlawed in most countries, but having it banned entirely only makes it more dangerous. If it was properly studied and understood, it could be better controlled and protected against. By keeping it outlawed, it's only learned by those willing to risk everything to master it. And guess what they usually risk? Other people's lives. Senseless bloodshed is still senseless no matter what your morals are. It's a waste of resources. I was fortunate enough to have a true master teach me how to perform such dark magic, and more importantly, how to control it, and myself. Why do you think so many sorceresses before me have been consumed by their own magic? They wanted power, but had no self-control. That's why you won't see me raising an army of the undead or trying to mind control people to be my slaves. That would only end in disaster. All this talking is giving me a headache. Continue on with your shooting. I'll be over here. Oh my. Did I fall asleep? How embarrassing. But that nap was just what I needed. Oh, I know you did not just say I snore. But anyway, have you archeried to your heart's content? Oh, good. I suspect my minions will be waking up from their stupor any minute now, so we may as well head back inside. You'd like to come back again? We'll see. If my schedule's too tight, I might have to mock you while you shoot. Not that it would be all that different for you. Oh, damn. I nearly forgot. I have a meeting with my advisors today. I'm afraid we must part ways here. But don't fear. I'll be back to rile you up again before you know it. Huh? Oh, of course. Just don't let the special treatment go to your head. Good day. They thanked me. I definitely didn't expect that. And they sounded sincere, too. What could my little jester be up to? What's this? You coming to see me? I must be dreaming. How strange. I make it so you can visit the archery range without me, and yet you seek me out anyway. Feeling lonely? You know I'll never get tired of teasing you. Oh, you're curious about my potions? Interested in taking up my offer to be a test subject? Trying to get a better idea of my abilities, Do you want my resume? Then why don't you tell me what you think I can do? Well, that's just cheating. I'm making a potion right in front of you. Oh, please. I'm not just mixing ingredients randomly. I have decades of experience. Spellcasting, curses, naturally. It comes with the territory. Necromancy as well, of course. We've been over this. Now that I think of it, I haven't bothered to reanimate anything in years. I might be a bit out of practice. There's just no point, really. Anything I could puppet a corpse to do, I could just ask one of my minions to do, and it'd be far easier. I suppose I'd only do it if I was in a desperate situation. Not that I'm likely to find myself in one. I'm surprised you feel comfortable talking about it, considering your distaste for the practice. However wrong it is, I assure you, the dead don't mind. Well, I admit it is pretty gross, depending on the decomposition. But when that mage friend of yours did it, it was with a fresh corpse, right? It couldn't have been that nasty. It was someone you'd shot. Oh, so you were mad at him for undoing your work. Oh, don't leave. The story was just getting good. Changing the subject, are we? Mind control is about the same as necromancy, but with more downsides. Again, I already have minions to do my bidding, and it's just controlling a body again, except the person's still alive and could break free with enough determination. Definitely not something you want, especially if they're an enemy. It's just not worth it. I don't think there's much else to tell. Unless you wanted to get into the specifics of what spells I know. And that would take a while. What? No, I can't read minds. I don't think anyone can do that. Stop time? That's impossible. Fly on a broomstick? Where are you getting these ideas from? I see. So those are the rumors about me in other countries. That's quite ludicrous. I may be powerful, but I can't invent new magic. Potions, though. I've made quite a few advancements. Speaking of, would you pass me that vial over there? Since you're here, you might as well make yourself useful. No, not that one. Be careful with that. It's a fast-acting poison. Put it back. Now. Of course I have an antidote for it, but I'd rather not waste it or the poison on you. Shouldn't it be obvious by now that I don't want you dead? I enjoy our conversations far too much. And this is the vial I needed. I recommend you don't touch anything else in this room. Not at all. You may not know anything about potions, but you're far from a hindrance. I hear you've been helping the archers with their training. Just because you were bored. Well, I imagine having perfect aim does get a bit samey. Why would I be angry? You clearly know what you're doing, and I've heard nothing but glowing reviews. Now, why would I ever make that up? It's only been in passing, but I've heard the archers chatting about how patient you were with your explanations. The captain herself has told me about the remarkable improvement. You really are something else. I wish I could have met you before you joined up with those damn heroes. If it's any consolation, those former friends of yours are probably a lot worse off without your aim. You doubt it? Why? You'd make a powerful ally in any battle, I'm sure. Or were you worried corpses would put you out of a job? Yes, what with your morals and all. You were against it and you had a big fight about it. I still don't see how that led to you breaking off from them. I see. So they argued that you shouldn't complain since you don't have to fight head-on. Well, that's just nonsense. If you're still a part of the team, you should be able to say your piece on their tactics. Not being directly in the line of fire doesn't mean you're not still fighting. Oh my, it was that kind of argument. Where every old grievance and irritation gets thrown around without care. I had no idea there was so much tension built up in your group. I could have used it to my advantage. Regardless, I don't think their complaints had much merit. I've seen what you can do. Although I know battle is quite different from training. Why am I being nice to you? Do you prefer it when I'm mean? No, I'm not trying to win you over. What would be the point in that? I'm just speaking honestly. No matter what I say, it's not as though I could convince you to join my side. After everything I've done to you, I'd be a fool to think that. I just have no reason to lie to you. I think this is looking about ready. Care for a taste test? It's a potion that improves stamina, actually. I'm hoping to use it on my soldiers. If it works, it'll be quite useful. But it's just a stepping stone to my real goal. If I could make a potion that makes it so my army never has to sleep, my name will go down in history. Well, I'm sure it already will, but you know what I mean. What? You're just asking that now? You don't know what my name is. How could you possibly not know my name? Oh, right. That is what they call me in foreign lands. I suppose the wicked sorceress of Gavel does have a certain air of mystique. Most everyone around here just calls me mistress. No, my true name isn't a secret. I'm not a demon. My name is Aless, although very few call me that anymore. Why? Do you feel we should be on a first-name basis by now? Then by all means, keep calling me Sorceress, and I'll keep calling you Jester. Aw, leaving so soon? How disappointing. I don't really know how to explain it, but things seem to be far more enjoyable when you're around. I guess that means you're doing a good job. I'm glad you haven't lost that bite. You're more than welcome to come threaten me at dinner tonight. I'll look forward to it then. Come to see if the flowers really are poisonous? Just a coincidence, I assure you. Why would I hunt you down myself? I have servants for that. Besides, this is the first time I've seen you here. I really thought you'd enjoy a bit of nature. I see. I suppose the garden is too manicured to be anything like real nature. It's not nearly as chaotic and dangerous, but I'm sure you'd feel right in your element. And there's plenty of things to shoot in the forest. Not here, though, so I'm not sure why you brought your bow with you. Don't act like I'm completely sheltered. I've been in forests before. I certainly had to forage for potion ingredients in my early days. Having a greenhouse is so much better. No more having to watch my back for predators. Well, back then I didn't have guards to keep an eye on things for me. Friends? Oh, come on. You should know I don't have any of those. Kind of hard to come by when you're an oh-so-evil sorceress. Friends would be a liability anyway. But I do enjoy seeing the camaraderie amongst my underlings. Of course, they fight like dogs on occasion, but every now and then I'll spy some of them giving gifts or helping each other. It makes me happy to see that. Not sure why, though. I know I've always sneered at your former crew for all your talk of the power of friendship, but it really is better when a group gets along. It's good to know my minions won't turn their backs on each other if something goes wrong. Is something the matter? Hey, where are you going? Jester? Are you in there? Good question. I don't know why I'm bothering to knock either. What are you doing in bed at this hour? I know I mostly let you do your own thing, but this is far too lazy, even for you. I'm not going away. It's my castle. I wanted to see why you aren't at dinner. I figured you wanted some space after you ran off earlier, but now I'm thinking something's really wrong with you. Are you ill? Well, you certainly sound stuffed up. I can call for a healer. No need to shout. What is your problem, then? Would you please just look at me and say something? You're... I've never seen you cry before. Even in the dungeons, you never... I'm not mocking you. I'm not that cruel. Okay, maybe I am, but what made you cry? If one of my minions hurt you, I'll make an example of them. Oh, that's good at least. But what is the problem? You miss your friends. The ones that abandoned you. No, I didn't mean to... Great, I'm making it worse. I don't really understand why you'd miss them. What we were talking about earlier. Oh. Look, I'm sure having friends is nice for certain kinds of people, but you don't need them to get by in life. Just look at me. Okay, I get that, but I'm trying. What was so great about having them as friends anyway? Oh. So, they were your only companions after your mentor passed. They were always there for you. I can see why you'd miss that. Like a family. I can't say I know what that's like. But things weren't perfect. You said as much. If they were willing to leave you with me over a single fight... Sure, if you'd let it go, you wouldn't be here. But you would be with a group that doesn't value your opinion. You'd have to live with your growing disgust every time that mage raised the dead. And considering that I doubt he knows what he's doing, there's a fair chance he'd mess up controlling a corpse and one of your own would get injured. Would you be able to just sit by and let that happen? Of course not. You're not nearly passive enough to do that. The way you've been behaving for the past few months is evidence of that. You're stubborn. You won't let anyone just walk all over you. You would have been unhappy with them too in the end. Better than being alone. I know this is cold comfort coming from me, but you aren't alone. Even though you hate being here, you do have a place in my castle, and in my life. Of course, that goes for many of my minions. They all like having you around. I've heard the whispers. They love seeing someone insult me when they can't. Oh, come on. No matter how much they respect me, isn't it human nature to want to curse out your boss every once in a while? Yes, I know I deserve it. I do want you to know, though, there are people here who genuinely care about you. Just ask any of the archers. All of them like you. Some of them have even asked to take you on missions with them. Unfortunately, my magic doesn't extend quite that far. I can't tell you this is better than being with your old group. I'm sure you'd say it isn't. But you're not alone. That much you can be certain of. Sorry. I know I'm not great at reassurance, and I'm not the best person to be giving it. But I hate seeing you so sad. Another favor? And what might that be? What? Really? I mean, I can. You want me to? Well, come here then. I'm probably not doing this right, but I hope it helps all the same. Oh, I'm sure I've hugged someone before. Probably. Here, let me try this. I've read about this before, that's all. If you don't like it... Not so bad for my first try, is it? Are you getting drowsy? I can imagine all this crying took a lot out of you. I don't mind if you fall asleep. Huh? What's that? Yes. This didn't happen at all. Now sleep, my dear. Another one. Utterly obnoxious. Oh, you're up. Finally. But I won't complain. You're here just in time to entertain me. These letters are so dull. Did I tell anyone? About what? The letters? They're not all that important. I don't know what you mean. Nothing much of anything happened yesterday. And even if it did, why would it be anyone else's business? Just testing my memory. I may be older than you, but I'm not senile yet. And besides, there are potions to stave that off. Oh, I'm devastated. I'm so glad you're here, Jester. How about you read some of these letters to me? Put on a silly voice. Make it fun. I know. I should be doing my own work. Just having you here is enough. But I do wonder, is it really necessary to carry your bow with you everywhere? No one's going to steal it if you just leave it in your room. In case of an emergency. In an emergency, you should be running and hiding. You won't be able to attack intruders either. You do know that, right? Of course, I'll accept the blame for that. It's a shame. You'd be so helpful if anything happened. I don't think you need to worry. The castle is quite secure, despite all the creaks you hear at night. That's to be expected in an old place like this. Is the castle haunted? Not presently. Yes, I'm quite sure. You know, people will often claim to see ghosts in any place that's old or abandoned. But the truth is, they're actually quite rare. It takes a very strong willpower to remain after your body has given up life. And ghosts don't tend to just make strange noises and hover about aimlessly. They have purpose, and they're quite loud about it. Yes, I've seen one. It was my mentor, although saying that might give you the wrong idea. See, that's exactly what I mean. I didn't kill him. He was already dead when we met. Exactly. He was a ghost haunting this very castle. You weren't assuming I built this place myself, were you? Although considering the shape it was in when I found it, I may as well say I did. I don't know if I should tell you. After all, you could be probing for information, plotting my downfall. I'm just kidding. I don't think I have anything to lose by telling you. It's just something my mentor always went on about. Those who caused his downfall. Heroes, you know. Oh, skies no, I didn't seek him out. I hadn't the faintest clue about magic back then. And if I'd known what I was walking into, I would have turned right back around. But how could I have known? In those days, the tree line came right up into the castle grounds. It was so overgrown. I was just walking through the woods, and suddenly I was climbing over the shattered wall. To make a very long story short, I was greeted, well, more like yelled at by my mentor, and eventually I began studying under him. And then the castle was mine, I built up my army, blah blah blah. That's all. Oh, come now, do you really need to know every little detail? Oh, fine. Anything to get away from reading these letters. My mentor had been a very powerful sorcerer, and he owned this very castle. Unfortunately, some foreign nobles got wind of the experiments he was doing with dark magic, and of course they were displeased. And then Hero showed up, he was killed, you get the idea. But that wasn't the end for him. Yes, he did become a ghost, but he also had another trick up his sleeve. He cursed the castle upon his death, so no one could leave it once they entered. And that included those sent to kill him. I know, he was pretty harsh. But after that, no one dared go near, lest they be trapped too. So he haunted the halls, waiting. He spent his whole life researching dark magic, and he refused to let all of his knowledge go to waste. So he remained, awaiting someone who he could teach this knowledge. And that was me, a young girl who cluelessly wandered in. No, of course I'm not still trapped here. I'm far too powerful for that. But that was his incentive for me. Learn everything he knew about dark magic, and I would learn how to break the curse on the castle and gain my freedom. How long did it take? I'm not sure. I gave up counting the days after the first few months, but it must have been years. When I finally broke the curse, I was considerably taller. Yes, then his spirit was finally able to move on. And good riddance, too. I was more than tired of hearing his voice every day. But I can't deny, he was a true master of magic, and I wouldn't be who I am today without him. Yes, I did stay here even though I'd earned my freedom. I'd spent so much time fixing it up to make it livable over the years that it seemed like a waste to leave. It's still a castle after all. Where else would I get one for free? Return home? There was no home for me to return to. Certainly no one who would be missing me. The joys of an untethered life. The rest I'm sure you don't need to hear. My fortune and underlings all came over time. Not without significant effort, mind you, but I won't bore you or myself with all the politics. Do I think my mentor would be proud of me? That man would only ever be proud of his own accomplishments. But even so, I'm sure he's turning in his grave seeing as how I use dark magic so rarely. Especially after he taught me how to perform necromancy on his own corpse. Oh yes, he really did. It was the only corpse in the castle intact enough to use, but it was in bad shape. Yet the contrast between it and his spirit was interesting to see. Did I hate being trapped here? I'm sure you can answer that yourself. Oh, is that how you want to convince me to remove your collar? A bit of empathy? But I won't say you're the only one who wants that. The archers, I mean. What with how they'd like to battle with you and all. I'm sure they just want to see what you're like in the field. Among others in this castle. I mean, you can imagine you're well liked enough here. Me? What kind of question is that? Without the collar, you'd be out of here before any of my guards could stop you. And that would be dreadful. If you stayed here of your own free will, don't be ridiculous. I'd never believe that. I wish I could. I want to... Skies, Estmond, you startled me. What's wrong? What? Are you serious? The guard caught those heroes trying to sneak in? Where are they now? The dungeons. Yes, finally. And we didn't even have to go get them. Yes, I'm going to the dungeons right away. This is perfect. Right. Jester. I don't think you should come with me. Conflict of interest and all. I didn't say that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time for a reunion. Before I slaughter them. Why do you care? As far as they know, they left you for dead. I can understand wanting closure, but don't tell me you intend to forgive them. Enough. I'm going to the dungeons. You stay here. Huh? It's nothing. Let's keep moving. Honestly, Estmond, you seem more excited than I am. I know. They've ruined more than one of your battle strategies. But I still think of you as a very competent advisor. They're just uniquely infuriating. I'm definitely going to take my time with them. Dungeon Keeper, wake up. I won't have you sleeping on the job. Wait, is that blood? Is he... No, just unconscious. Estmond, where did you... They're gone. What do you mean they're gone? They broke out of their cells? That explains this. We have to find them. Hold on. All guards on high alert. We have escaped prisoners in the castle. You'll know when you see them. There. If this is what they were planning all this time, I won't make it easy on them. Let's move. Sneaking into the castle in broad daylight. I should have guessed they were up to something. Wait. I hear a commotion in the Great Hall. Let's go. Well, if it isn't my least favorite band of heroes. So much for the sneaky approach. Not that you lot were ever any good at it. I see you've already killed some of my men. Real go-getters, aren't you? If it's a battle you want, I'll gladly give it. Estmund! What the hell? How dare you? You just killed my advisor. He wasn't even doing anything. When I said a battle, I didn't mean you were free to slaughter anyone here. What is wrong with you? Oh yes, because I'm the evil one, whatever. I can't say I was expecting you three to show your faces again, especially after you abandoned your teammate here. Please, as if I'd kill them after all the effort I put into capturing them. I was really hoping to get the full set, but none of you could be bothered to lift a finger to rescue them. I'm sure they'll be so happy to see you finally showing up after all these months. Was it worth it to lose them over a bit of necromancy? Oh yes, I know all about that. Let me know when you can do something actually impressive, mage. You're not here for them. Clearly, you probably forgot they even existed. So much for the power of friendship. Blah, 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 you're here to defeat me. You and what army? Even if I can't defeat you myself, which I doubt, my minions will take care of you. I've already alerted every guard in the castle. I'm sure you heard. They aren't coming. What do you... Paralysis? You can do a widespread curse like that? Okay, maybe you have learned some new tricks. But it's not like I can't handle you all myself, especially now that you're down an archer. Speaking of, you really shouldn't be here. You're going to get hurt. You're dumber than I thought if you believe they willingly joined up with me. Since you all wouldn't do what I wanted you to and stage a rescue, I had to find other uses for them. You've got some nerve lecturing me about capturing your teammate who you refused to save. Still, you didn't come here for them. At least their skills are appreciated here. Only a fool would ignore their incredible aim. I bet you do wish they'd take aim at me. But they can't. It's called a curse. Your mage here isn't the only one who can do them. As long as they have that collar on, nothing you say can make them attack me. Now, Jester, I would appreciate it if you'd leave. Things are about to get messy, and I don't want you getting caught in the crossfire. What the hell are you babbling about, mage? If you think you know a spell that can defeat me, think again. Now prepare to... What? What did you just do? The collar. It's off? What? But how did you... I'm the only one who can remove that collar. It's my curse. You've been learning a bit too much dark magic for your own good, you dim-witted mage. What good will it do anyway? They're unarmed. What? Where did you get those arrows? Stolen from the archery range. How sneaky. But it'll take more than a few arrows to kill me. Coated in poison from my potion room. That might help. I guess this is the opportunity you've been waiting for. Shut up, Lightwielder. This isn't about you. Don't start pretending to care about them now. You didn't even bother to look for them. Jester. No. Archer. Even if you can escape, don't go with these jackals. You'd be better off alone than with any of them. Do you expect me to beg for my life? Out of everyone in this room, I can't think of anyone who'd want to kill me more than you. And after everything I've done to you, you've earned the right. All I can say is, I truly did enjoy our time together. What happens next won't change that. I mean it. Do your worst. What? You shot them. Why? Ugh, that poison is fast. Wait, please. Damn it, they're quick. Hold on. Huh? Oh, you guards are a little late to the party. Looks like that curse wore off. Remove these bodies, would you? We'll need to hold a funeral for Estmund, unfortunately. The rest can be burned. How is everyone else faring? Slowly coming out of paralysis. Good. Have the healers check for lingering effects. That was one nasty curse. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a rogue archer to find. Where could they have... Oh no. Please tell me they didn't go to the gates. You there, guard. Have you seen that archer? The jester. They ran outside the walls, and you didn't stop them? Of course. You couldn't move. Never mind. They know the forest too well. We'll never catch them now. Just try to pull yourself together. I'd better go see if the dungeon keeper's all right. Why? Why did they spare me? They could have taken me out right there. But instead they killed those heroes. They're friends. Or used to be. I need to find them. But I have my own problems to deal with here. I'll send a message to my scouts. I can't let them slip away forever. Hi. Please don't close the door. I came here alone. No guards. You're really asking how I found you? I'm sorry. No sarcasm. I had my scouts search for you. Because I had to speak with you again. I want to understand why you did what you did. Why you shot them and not me. No, that's not the only reason why. there's a few things I want to say to you. So, will you let me come inside? Thank you. Mind if I sit? Thanks. This is a nice cottage. I'm glad you were able to find a place. Oh, so that's where the missing gold from the treasury went. You were smart to grab some as you escaped the castle. I'm not surprised. You probably knew your way through the castle better than I do, and I'm sure you'd been planning how you'd escape since the beginning. You've been gone almost as long as you were there now. No, I didn't come here to capture you again, and I'm sure you wouldn't have let me in if you thought I was going to. I'm just here to get answers. Well, maybe not just answers. No, I mean, you'd been threatening to kill me from the first opportunity. I dare say you were a master at it. But when you finally had the chance to kill me, you chose to kill your former allies. I can't figure out why. I know that they left you, but I assumed you hated me more. Or at least you would have had some forgiveness for them considering your history together. It all feels backwards. No, I would not have preferred to be the murdered party. Believe me, I'm glad you did what you did. You killed those heroes faster than I could. But I really thought you would kill me. Or kill me first. Why didn't I attack you? I swore I wouldn't harm you, didn't I? Are you surprised? I know I'm not the most upstanding sorceress, but I do keep my promises. More surprised I remembered. I told you, I wasn't that drunk. And besides, I could have used a magic shield just in time. Maybe. Or not. You pointing a poison arrow at me made me realize just how false our relationship was. I'd gotten so used to your presence that I'd almost forgotten I was the one forcing you to be near me. I took everything from you. You had every reason to want me dead. Yes, this is the part where I try to apologize, although I doubt anything I can say will ever make up for what I've done to you. Right. I at least have to try. Then, I'm sorry for everything I've done to you. For capturing you, for imprisoning you in the dungeons, for imprisoning you with that collar, for forcing you to be in my presence, for mocking you at every opportunity, for putting you in harm's way. I genuinely apologize for all of it. No, I really don't expect forgiveness with a shoddy apology like that. Perhaps it would have come across more sincerely if I had wrote it down instead. You wouldn't waste the time reading it. I guess I deserve that. Still doesn't answer why you shot them and not me. You realized they didn't care about you. I could have told you that. In fact, I did. Ah, but you thought they might at least try to apologize for not coming to get you. I see. So, when that mage freed you just so you could attack me. I can very much understand that sort of indescribable rage. But then you ran. That's understandable too. You had no reason to believe I'd let you free. I don't know if I would have. I know it's cruel, but I owe you the truth. Over the past few months, I've had a lot of time to think about how you must have felt. This is why I tend to avoid empathy, but it did give me some insight. Of course, these things come naturally to you. You're a decent person. All I did was repeat the crimes of the past. Everything I did to you was horrible. No, that's not all I came here to say. I want you to come back to the castle, of your own free will. That was a fast rejection. I expected nothing less. I suppose I should tell you the reason why I want you to come back. I miss you. I know that's hard to believe. I didn't believe it myself at first. The idea of me, one of the most powerful sorceresses in the known world, wanting the company of a heroic archer. It's ludicrous. But it's true. Believe me, I've done a lot of thinking about why that is, too. Mostly because I didn't have you to distract me from my thoughts. That's just it. I could hire anyone I want to be my jester, but I don't want anyone but you. Somehow, you started to matter more to me than anyone else ever has. I couldn't figure out why. Friendship. That's what I thought. It should have been just that. I enjoyed your companionship, even though it was forced by me. Our conversations were the highlight of my day. But it's not that. Or it is, but it's something that even I knew would be going too far. At least while you were being forced to be near me. I can't keep talking around it. I'm just going to be direct. I believe I've fallen for you. I wish I was lying. Well, not exactly. This emotion is beyond complicated. Why do I think I'm in love? Based on the descriptions I've read, how I feel about you. Haven't I already told you? I'm always thinking of you. Since you left, I've been wondering where you are, if you're doing all right. Whenever I'm stuck or frustrated, I wish I could speak to you, because our talks always made me happier, helped me think clearly. When a scout said they'd found you, I wanted to leap for joy. I came here unguarded, just so I could get the chance to talk to you again. That must mean I feel something for you, doesn't it? Maybe it isn't love, but I still want you to be by my side. I know, you'd never agree to that. No, I'm not going to break and force you to come back with me. and I won't beg for you to return. I miss you, but I want you to be happy. Skies, that's a strange thing for me to say. And you won't be happy with me. I suppose I should take my leave now. Thank you for, well, everything. What is it? Yes, I did say you'd be better off alone than with them. Was I right? It's not so bad, but it's boring? What do you mean? I don't understand. Letters? You want me to write to you? And you'll write me back? Yes, of course that's possible. What do you want me to write to you about? Anything. That's broad. But I suppose it would be interesting to hear about anything from you as well. No asking you to return. That won't be a problem. I already have your answer. This will be quite interesting. I don't normally engage in this sort of written correspondence. I assure you, my penmanship is far more graceful than yours. Well then, I shall write you as soon as I return to the castle. I look forward to reading your first letter. Good day, my friend. Even when it's to them, writing correspondence never seems to get any easier. I want to tell them everything, but writing it down, having to be sensible and concise. I wish I could just talk to them. I could barely decide what greeting to start with. Let's see, we're past the scribbled out dears and dearests. How about... Thank you for writing me back. I was almost worried you might not. Is that a good way to start? It sounds guilt-trippy. First draft. Just keep going. I ended up reading your letter in your former quarters. It was almost as if you were right there with me. You write just like you talk. I mean that as a compliment. I kept the contents private, but I did let the Archers know you'd been in touch. Sometimes I think they miss you more than I do. No, cross that out. I don't need to remind them of that. They already know. They were all glad to hear that you're well and keeping up with your training. As am I. I'd hate to think of you losing your fighting spirit, although I know you're mostly using your bow to hunt these days. Speaking of, I am very glad you didn't end up shooting the familiar I sent with my first letter. I suppose I should have warned you, but I didn't think of it at the time. He may look a tad frightening, but he flies very fast, and I was eager to hear from you. I appreciate you letting him rest in your cottage while you wrote your response. As for the scolding you gave me about sending a creature you didn't know what to feed, I assure you he can go quite a time without eating. He's not of this plane, though. I'll spare you the boring details. But in future, if you wish to give him food as a treat, any bits of meat or bone will suffice. I suppose he does deserve them for being so well behaved. but I wouldn't expect anything less of him. He should consider himself lucky that he gets to see you. No, cross that out. I can't say that. Things around here have been about as peaceful as they can be. You wouldn't believe it, but I finally received a letter from a royal that wasn't full of threats. Unfortunately, it was proposing an alliance through an arranged marriage. The idea was ludicrous. You would have laughed if you read it. Someone my age has no business marrying a young prince, especially when my heart belongs to someone else. No, cross that out. That's the last thing they want to hear. I don't know what they think I'd get out of such an arrangement. If they're worried about me attacking, they think too highly of themselves. Some may say I have no business calling myself royalty, but you can go lower as it turns out. What else? In your letter, you asked about my potions and that you thought of them because you saw plants I use growing in the forest. I had noticed when I visited that you're in an optimal foraging location. Not that you'd have magical use for them, but I'm certain they improve ordinary cooking as well. One thing most potion makers don't consider is taste. As for my potions, I've hit a bit of a wall. I haven't seen much improvement in my mixtures for months now. No, scratch that. Improvements have plateaued somewhat, perhaps due to the quality of ingredients, but maybe I'm just in a slump. I'm certain I'll be mixing potions with the best of them in no time at all. It was easier when I could work through the process by explaining it to you. They don't care about that. Cross it out. Even though there are difficulties, I'm good at not letting it show. My minions are as loyal as ever, though those in the higher ranks have been asking if I'm feeling all right. It's honestly a bit annoying. I tell them I'm just fine. But of course I'm not. It's as though I see your ghost everywhere. Everything that reminds me you're not here is painful. I haven't assigned anyone else to your quarters. I can't. Sometimes I'll just go in there and pretend I'm waiting for you to come back while I read reports. I've mindlessly gone out to the archery range hoping to see you there. I miss having you to talk to. I miss seeing you. This all used to be so simple before, but you changed everything. I'm different now, better and worse, and I fear everyone can tell. But I can't show any weakness. I can't admit that missing you has thrown me off so severely. I'm greedy and selfish, and a part of me wishes I could have convinced you to return even if it was just out of pity. I want to keep you all to myself, but I also want you to be happy. I know I acted composed when you said no before, but inside I felt the exact opposite. Please, come back. I need you in my life. Okay, I definitely can't send any of that. But it felt good to get it off my chest. My minions are as loyal as ever, and I look forward to what the future brings. Please write back soon. I'd love to hear more about your forest adventures. Yours truly. Faithfully? No. Just Illes. No need for formality. It's just a first draft, but that was exhausting. And I need to redo half of this. And cut out those parts. I wish I could just... No. They said not to ask for them to come back, and I don't want them to stop writing me. It's better than nothing. Now, time to write the letter I'll actually send. There. Perfect. A cordial, friendly letter without any of that stuff. Cut down at least a page, I'm sure. Now, where's my familiar? Oh, that was quick. Take this to that cottage as quick as you can, and make sure you're as well behaved as before. You may be rewarded this time. Off like a shot. Much better than a carrier pigeon. I can't wait to see what they write back. Still no correspondence. Don't tell me they shot my familiar after all. Don't be absurd, I never worry. But we've been writing these letters back and forth for months, and now suddenly they stop responding? How am I meant to take that? It would be a nice break from all the drudgery lately, that's all. Now, the reports? Please tell me. That's been handled. Oh, good. Now that's something I can actually look forward to reading. I know I'm not usually proactive with these things, but I'm ever so curious to know who was responsible for that blunder. So what if I enjoy a bit of drama? Makes these reports easier to get through. You may leave now. I'll see to all of this. Still... Perhaps I'll read these somewhere more comfortable. This throne can be a bit stiff. Aren't I a sight? Still sneaking back into their old quarters. Whatever. Nobody will say a damn thing if they know what's good for them. I know it's no use pretending they'll come back, but for them to go so long without a response... I'm missing them more than usual. Ugh, and on top of it all, my damn familiar is missing. I can still feel a tether, so I know he's not dead. But what could have happened? I could just command him to return. But what if he's with them? Perhaps they've taken to him like a pet and don't want to return him. That would be adorable. The thought of them doting on my familiar. Get a hold of yourself. Enough of this nonsense. I'll command that wretch to return at once. After I finished reading these reports... Now, where's the... Huh? You! Where have you been? I sent you off with a letter 2 weeks ago. Don't try to give me puppy dog eyes. It doesn't work with you. Well, at the very least, you haven't returned empty-handed. But what happened to you? I had half a mind to forcibly summon you. I would make a potion that allows you to explain yourself, but you having the ability to talk would just be a pain in the end. Fine, give it here, I'll read it. It better be from the Archer. Let's see. Dear Elise, sorry for the late response. That's putting it mildly. I've been busy moving house. What? And I didn't want your familiar to get lost when bringing your letters. Oh, well, I suppose that's a good enough reason. But where have they moved to? As for where I'm moving, that's a surprise. Oh, you're kidding. But don't worry, you'll find out. See you soon. What? Wait, that's the whole letter? What's going on? What is... Skies, I look up and see you climbing through the window like a thief in the night. How did you... Of course. You would still know the castle well enough to sneak in. I just never expected that you'd break into the place you were so desperate to leave. Oh, please, I was hardly startled. But what are you doing here? I thought I'd never see you in this castle again. It's a pleasant surprise, of course. I'm just in shock. Are you visiting on the way to your new home? I'm sure everyone will be thrilled. You'll stay for dinner, won't you? Lovely. But do tell, where are you moving to? Surely not a city. You're staying. I don't... Wait. You want to return? Yes, of course it would be allowed. You won't hear any complaints from me. Well, once again, I'm in shock. What made you want to return? Steady employment can't be that hard for an archer of your caliber to find. Well, I assume you wish to work as an archer here, or as a trainer for them. Any position is open to you, naturally. I'd be a fool to let your talents go to waste. Good. The archers will be happy to hear that. As you can see, your quarters have yet to be reassigned, so you're free to move back in. What was I doing in here? Oh, just reading the typical boring reports. I thought a change of scenery would help me focus on the dull writing. Your old room just happened to be the closest spot that was empty. What are the odds that I'd be where you decided to sneak in? No, I don't come in here regularly. What would give you that idea? This might be the first time I set foot in here since you left. It's a big castle. What? That letter. How did you get your hands on it? That was never meant to be sent to you. So what if I did write it? It wasn't meant to be seen. No, of course I didn't intend to send you a letter pouring my heart out about how much I missed you. Not after what you told me. Skies, I'm shocked you agreed to keep writing to me after seeing that. What an embarrassment. I apologize for the mix-up. A moment of weakness and nothing more, I assure you. I was merely a tad off tilt after losing Estmund. As you know, I still haven't been able to replace him. Please don't throw those words in my face. I never wanted you to read them. I'm well past begging you to return. No, that's not what Please. I can't watch you leave again. My feelings for you haven't changed. I've missed you every day, every hour. Look where I'm standing. I know you don't return my feelings. I'd be mad to expect that. But I still want you by my side. Please stay. Thank you. That is... Oh, you don't know how much of a relief it is to hear that. Especially after finding out you saw... that. As I said, it's a pleasant surprise. Never thought I'd see the day. Another surprise. I don't know if my heart can handle it, but go on. Don't tell me you've... What? What? You kissed me. But you don't feel that way about me. You never said that? I don't... How long? How long have you returned my feelings? Before you knew it was mutual. So... that is... unbelievable. No, I do believe you. It's just so shocking to hear. Yet, you never... Of course, you're no fool. You would have gained nothing from telling me. No doubt I would have thought it was a trick. And I was unwilling to examine such feelings about you before you escaped. I just wish we could have met a different way. I've been so cruel to you. True. I suppose if we weren't enemies, we never would have had the chance to meet at all. I want to make up for everything I've put you through. It wasn't all bad. How charitable. You still have a hero's heart. Much as I would love to have you all to myself, I believe keeping you from greeting my minions may result in mutiny. Shall we? I am so glad you're back. As if I'd think you sneaking in would be an assassination attempt. You've had more than one opportunity to pierce my heart and be done with it. Why would you bother now? You cheeky thing. I suppose you already have pierced my heart. Might I trouble you for one more kiss before you get swept away? Greedy. Yes, I suppose I am. But only for you, my darling Archer. Welcome home.